Dzwoni. Évidemment.
This must be it. Oh, doesn't look like there's any chance of us getting in with that ratnik guarding the door, though. Should we go speak to the guard first?
Might as well try squeezing blood from a stone.
Ah! Never! When did you...
I came over to take a look as soon as I received the news just now. Ino told you about this then?
Oui, on est passé à son atelier tout à l'heure.
Before we start, shall we see if we've made the same guess?
C'est le havre de la chasse sauvage.
Indeed. Quicker than we thought as well. Keep your eyes peeled for any clues once we get in. No need to jump to conclusions.
But how are we supposed to get in at all?
Just follow me.
Ah. Professionnel. La clé ambulante.
I'm sorry, but we're not open to guests right now.
Sorry about that. They're here to investigate.
All of them?
The paperwork checks out.
All right then. Enter.
C'est qui ce gars qui a pop? C'est bon, vous pouvez pas m'entrer. Il y a des fers à utiliser la force. Ce ne sont pas les druides que vous recherchez. Je m'appelle la scène du crime, vous partagez les informations sur le Richard de Solnari avec Nefer. Ah oui, il est toujours là au sol.
Paimon might have said this before, Nefer, but you sure do come prepared.
Shishich, my old friend. Fill us in, if you would.
Greetings. If you would allow me. The murder happened not long ago. The Sergeant Major was killed by a single piercing strike from a polearm. We have performed a preliminary sweep of the crime scene to facilitate investigation. No obvious signs of a violent struggle. No damaged doors or windows. The culprit must have used some other means to enter the room unopposed before performing the deed.
Entering unopposed? So, do you think there's a chance that the culprit would usually have right of entry?
Ça aurait pu être RERIR déguisé en quelqu'un d'autre. Il a bien réussi à prendre l'apparence d'Aizer après tout. Si c'était bien... si RERIR c'était bien lui-même qui avait pris l'apparence d'Aizer. S'il a effectivement coincé le de ses os, il avait peut-être utilisé un substitut, genre un métamorphe sous son contrôle.
At the moment, the most valuable lead we have is based on an eyewitness report from a nearby resident. Specifically, that FLINS was seen entering and leaving this place in the time period when the crime most likely occurred.
FLINS?
We have tried to contact him, but he has not replied.
Very odd indeed.
So, he's the prime suspect right now, right?
To be honest, I'm not particularly inclined to believe that this was an inside job. FLINS can come across a bit eccentric, but he does well in missions on the whole. He also had no disagreements with the Sergeant Major that we know of. So he lacks the motive to commit such a terrible crime. But neither the eyewitness report nor the nature of the fatal wound itself are in his favor. So we are looking for him at present.
Looks like there's not much else to dig up here. Let's go outside and discuss what we've seen.
D'accord.
So, the evidence points to FLINS, and he just so happens to have disappeared without a trace. A sticky situation indeed. We know that this FLINS could have been RERIR in disguise, but we lack the evidence to prove this to anyone else. Furthermore, FLINS has left us with many questions, all of which will require a reasonable explanation.
Yeah! He said he would report back to headquarters, but it seems he hasn't gone at all. What could he be doing?
Dans ma première rencontre avec Flins, j'ai remarqué que sa lanterne était étrange, comme si elle renfermait un pouvoir. Donc j'y pense, ce pouvoir partage des similitudes avec l'énergie de l'abîme que j'ai pu voir auparavant. PDK, Flins serait qu'un individu fabriqué de toutes pièces.
Let's approach the issue this way. First, we must determine our culprit. Was it FLINS or RERIR in disguise?
Non, c'est seulement RERIR déguisé en Flins.
Yeah! What reason would FLINS have to murder Sousi anyway?
None, as far as I know. And even if he had a motive, it would have been easier to do so out in the wild, rather than in Nasha town.
Yeah! They would have often gone out on missions together. Plenty of chances there.
Si RERIR son mobile n'est pas évident non plus.
Yes, but there's one thing worth noting here. Remember the intel we got back at the tavern? No one has ever seen a phantom that can take the form of other humans within the Wild Hunt. This means that he has been hesitant to abuse this ability, or allow it to become common knowledge, likely so that he could act in secret under other guises.
But no matter what, borrowing identities comes with risks, right? What if you bump into the person you're imitating along the way?
Precisely. In other words, his goal must have been worth the risk, similar to how he came in disguise to obtain the moon marrow. He likely knew then that the real FLINS would not appear and get in his way during this time.
Mais comment le savait-il?
We'd have to ask FLINS ourselves, I'm afraid. But we shouldn't jump to any conclusions here. We can't discount the possibility that he might actually be the murderer himself. And there are other, less likely scenarios. For instance, RERIR may have already killed FLINS long ago, and been living as him for some time now.
Oui, c'est vrai. En tout cas, on doit le retrouver.
Yes, that is our ticket to a breakthrough.
Then we've got to find him before the Lightkeepers do, or we might never see him again.
Steady now. Our friend should be back soon.
We've tracked him down to a beach north of Nasha town. The Wild Hunt is present too, so we're putting a force together. I'll have you know that this is top secret information I'm leaking here.
Don't worry, you'll receive a top-class reward in return. The beach is all yours. I'll stay and slow the Lightkeepers down. Things might go south if you bump into one another.
Oh right, before we go, should we reveal RERIR's secret? Since he's trying to keep it all hush-hush, why don't we just pull the curtains on his little trick? That'll teach him to sneak around pretending to be other people. Hey, why are you laughing?
Oh, I was just imagining how satisfying that would feel. But I'm afraid this revelation would only stir up more chaos. Setting aside the matter of evidence, some may trust FLINS on our account, whereas others would suspect him on account of his behavior. Tossing him into a swirling tumult of public opinion like that might just give RERIR more opportunities to capitalize on. And think about it. Once people learn that he can masquerade as those they trust, would they continue to welcome friends into their homes with such open hearts? Unease grips the hearts of those in Nasha town already. We should avoid throwing more fuel onto the fire.
Il n'ajouta pas d'huile sur le feu.
You're right. You've really thought of everything, huh? Nothing for it then. We've just gotta find FLINS.
Indeed. But just in case, let me stress once more. We should neither be excessively afraid of RERIR, nor trust in FLINS too lightly. This light source is of special Lightkeeper design. It provides illumination within Wild Hunt anomalies, and can briefly dispel the abyssal fog within.
All right. We'll have to deal with that mess too. Yeah, this'll be important. Thanks a bunch, Nefer.
You're welcome. I've charged it to your account, by the way.
Tout ajouté à votre ardoise. Hey. Aïe aïe aïe. Petite ardoise là. On dirait l'endroit où la chasse sauvage est apparue. Bon en vrai, je pense que je vais tout enregistrer d'une traite, chers amis. Donc. Ah, il est là-haut. Oh, il y a un usurier. Et où le pêcheur ou la pêcheuse? Je la vois. Bonjour, bonjour. Edvika, pêcheuse notre crayenne. Une seconde. Quel était le verdict déjà? Je crois que je m'étais arrêté sur... Quel verdict vous parlez? Ce n'est rien. C'est juste qu'on peut vite s'ennuyer à la pêche. Pourquoi je passe le temps en pensant à des choses plus urgentes? Vous savez, je me pose des questions philosophiques comme... Quel poisson est le plus heureux? Celui qui vit dans une petite mare ou celui qui vit dans l'océan? Qu'en pensez-vous? La mare est plus petite mais plus sûre. Tandis que l'océan est vaste mais plein de dangers. Ça dépend des poissons à qui on pose la question. Je n'avais même pas pensé. Peut-être qu'aucun des deux n'est heureux. Oui, on aimerait toujours avoir ce qu'on n'a pas. Hein. C'est logique. Hein. Qui êtes-vous? Une mordue de la pêche, voilà tout. Une vraie fanatique, en fonction de vos définitions du mot. Ok, bah voilà. Ne dis pas forcément des choses très, très longues. Ça fait du plaisir. Choisissez ce qui vous plaît. Le nouveau Zappa. Hop, appât de B. Appât Laka. Oh, rameau lunaire. Ça va t'arriver à rester dans la zone de tension idéale, ouais. Chantez pur, comme ça refermer le clair de lune. C'est une véritable chef-d'œuvre, réservé véritable maître parmi les pêcheurs de notre craie, ceux qui ont atteint le sommet de leur art. Le dernier détenteur de ces cannes traitait chacune de ses prises comme un étrange silencieux plutôt qu'une compétition. Sa poisson était relâchée immédiatement, tandis que d'autres étaient invités chez lui pour une courte visite dans son aquarium, avant de les rendre aux eaux d'origine. Pêche réfléchie et respectueuse de naissance à une tradition unique parmi les pêcheurs locaux qui valorisent la connexion et l'attention, plutôt que la compétence pure. Christieux nocturne. Le soleil éblouissant de la tête est translucide, ressemble à un cristal et soit observé dans les zones de craie, c'est un crépusculaire, comme le ciel sans lune. Le poétique qualificatif de nocturne. Christieux azuré. Le requin crocovore. Et le poisson hache ordinaire. Ah, un plan de trucs. Ils sont d'un glou d'un seul. Après, c'est pas ça disponible. Ah. Poisson hache enflammé. Poisson hache givré. Requin néon-ovore. Pour l'instant, on n'a pas vu de poisson en tout cas. Pas de zone de pêche. Mais on n'a pas encore fait l'exploration non plus. Ouais, là on peut pas monter, hein, n'est-ce pas? Ouais. Bah vite fait, produire des appâts. Au cas où on tomberait sur un point de pêche encore aujourd'hui. On va faire beaucoup de choses aujourd'hui. Hein. Ça pourrait arriver. Par contre, on se téléporte à l'autre bout de Taïwat, là. Littéralement. Ça va prendre un temps de chargement absolument fou. Hop là. Voilà les appâts. Plein d'objets. Ok, c'est donc ça. L'appât Laka. Fabriqué avec des lacabés et de la menthe. C'est que l'appât de B. Oh. B du solstice. On va faire 10 fois la recette. Donc, comme ça, on en a une centaine. 97. Bon, de toute façon, pour le reste, c'est pas le plus important. Maintenant, en tout cas, on peut pêcher à notre craie. Parce que sans ces appâts, il y a largement moyen que beaucoup de poissons, on puisse même pas... ils ne mordent même pas aux autres trucs qu'on a. Voilà. Bref. Est-ce qu'on a reçu un objet? Non. On a reçu la lanterne de Néfer, mais je pense que ce sera utilisé automatiquement. C'est le phénomène de la chasse.
Fuck! Is that a lightkeeper's lantern? Is there someone up ahead? Come on, let's go see! Till at last, part ways.
Oui, c'est vrai, il faut... Il ne meurt pas si facilement. Forcément d'être débarrassé, mais même pas.
This monster was lurking near the lamp. That must have been a planned ambush. We're not falling for that again. There's something inside it. Some small device. Huh? Why isn't it giving off light anymore? Is it broken? Oh, we better take it with us.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
A fight took place here. Did FLINS leave these marks?
Cleanup sequence initiated.
C'est minerai bizarre. Oui, non. Voilà. Vous savez bien que j'ai pris le mauvais perso.
Is someone there? Please, help me!
Isn't that FLINS' voice? Did you hear that? But is that really him?
How shall the Savior save themselves?
Defensive mode engaged. Preparing for dust up.
Ils sont coriaces la chasse sauvage, je sais qu'ils aient 2 barres de vie.
We'll be in trouble if these spooky shadows touch us! Quick, use the lantern!
Merde. Suis les traces. C'est vrai que la dernière fois qu'on était au Sablette d'Astre, j'ai cru qu'il fallait qu'on suive les ombres ou quelque chose pour essayer de trouver les autres. Mais non, c'est pas du tout ça. Un temps de recharge, faut qu'on fasse gaffe. Ah! C'est bon, on récupère des PV. Vous avez bien, on a pris plus d'un coup. Hein.
Hand it over. That was mine from the first. You're a fool. You again.
What the? It's stronger than before. Lantern, no!
It escaped again. This situation speaks for itself, I presume.
So, you were tangling with RERIR out here all by yourself.
So, that vile phantom hiding inside the Wild Hunt has a name of his own.
Trouve un endroit où vous pourrez vous reposer.
Yeah, you don't look so good.
Sorry you had to see me like this. All the same, you have my sincere thanks for your aid. To think you had the power to so easily cleanse the filth staining the lantern, which tormented me so. Might I ask what magic that was? Or whose pupil you are? I believe I might have saved some face had I mastered just a fraction of such abilities.
J'ignore aussi, c'est juste ma nature.
And an enviable constitution it is. A pity that such abilities cannot be acquired.
Why did abyssal power just burst out of your lantern anyway?
That is a long story. Many moons ago, when on Wild Hunt clearance duty, I shattered one of its cores only for a special crystalline object to fall out. I sensed a power surging within it that was at once familiar yet strangely illusory. I freely confess to being an avid collector of ancient gems, coins, and other curios. And curiosity it was that had me store this crystal inside my lantern. Afterwards, I wound up collecting a few more such crystals quite by accident, and discovered that they could merge into a single piece without my prompting. Though my understanding ends there. It was only recently that they began slowly emitting abyssal energy, which could neither be dispelled nor weakened.
Is that what RERIR claimed belonged to him? That must be what he's after then!
I concur. And here's the kicker. Before he was exceedingly weak. In fact, I've already beaten him several times, though I could not destroy him completely. But I noticed while engaging him that the crystal fragment would restrict my powers. As such, it occurred to me that I should hide it rather than tangle with him any longer. Alas, he has proved most fixated upon this fragment. And for some reason, his strength has grown by leaps and bounds since I last encountered him.
Cet objet est contaminé par l'abîme. Pourquoi le gardez-vous?
And where, might I ask, would it be safe? Or do you think it wiser I threw it away? Were our places switched, would you discard it, knowing that its perilous might was beyond your ability to counteract, yet capable of causing greater harm should it lie beyond your grasp?
Probablement pas.
Yeah, throwing it away would mean giving the bad guy what he wants. But exposing yourself to its corrosion and growing weaker by the day, that sounds super dangerous too.
Only those who shoulder risks are qualified to welcome in the turning of the tide. Those who flee when troubles come are nothing more than deserters. Though I shan't deny that I have your fortuitous arrival and most outstanding assistance to thank for my continued ability to speak such platitudes. Either way, it seems this fragment is now utterly still. That must have made it useless to RERIR. I doubt he would have retreated so readily otherwise. I imagine this wasn't the only reason you came looking for me, though?
Well, no, but...
On va demander à FLINS comment RERIR a ce nez Sousi et qu'on essaye de lui faire porter le chapeau.
I see.
Pourquoi RERIR voudrait vous faire porter le chapeau?
To use the Lightkeepers to find me, I suspect. I did not inform anyone of my true whereabouts, so he should have had more difficulty tracking me down. They alone have the ability to quickly pinpoint my position. Our Sergeant Major has a Kuvaki-powered device that can be used to detect others who bear a lantern. They usually don't pay my whereabouts much mind unless they absolutely must find me.
You mean this thing?
Yes. Where did you pick this up?
We found it inside a lantern when we first charged into the Wild Hunt anomaly.
It must belong to a Ratnik dispatched to investigate the area, who, it seems, dropped everything and fled the moment they saw the Wild Hunt massing to strike. Well, at least they're not dead.
Guess it's not surprising how they found you so fast then. But if RERIR could have shapeshifted into Sousi, why didn't he just use that Kuvaki device to find you himself?
Were he to use it, that device would likely fail to act as it should, owing to abyssal interference.
Ah, guess that explains it.
So not only is this RERIR ruthless, but a purveyor of dirty tricks too. You might not be familiar with Sergeant Major Sousi, but he put his heart and soul into every mission. Our deployments are subject to orders from headquarters, and his orders were to be stationed long-term in Nasha town. As such, he was very seldom able to go back and visit his family.
Il est où le QG?
He worked so hard, seeking to produce excellent results that might convince them to transfer him out.
Oh,
But every year they would say, wait a little longer. Wait a little long. In truth, everyone had nothing but the highest praise for him. But good work does not always lead to good outcomes. The higher-ups would think, he's doing great where he is. Let him stay there forever. A most convenient choice for them, at least. Whereas his subordinates would think, wouldn't it be a shame if we were to lose such a talented, easygoing boss? So he waited. And he waited. Until the world closed its eyes in the depths of the night, and a lantern was slowly lit for him alone, that no one could see.
C'est une histoire tragique.
One that has played out many times throughout history. Another reason to take this RERIR's head.
Oh. Well, at least we now know that he's looking for these fragments inside Wild Hunt anomalies.
And yet, what did the Sergeant Major have to do with any of this? Why did he have to die?
Could RERIR be angry that the cannon Sousi set up to fire destroyed the fragments he wanted to collect?
Could you take me to the scene of the crime?
Vous pourrez, mais vous êtes un suspect dans l'affaire.
We shall just have to exercise some discretion then. Come on.
Il suffit d'être discret. Retenez sur la scène du crime dans le village de Nasha. Ah, il y a le gros cerf qui se pointe. Une lumière ne peut pas révéler le bien ou le mal, seulement la vérité. Bon. C'est bon, on a récupéré un certain nombre d'objets. Ah, on est arrivé jusqu'ici. Presque à l'œil de Krati. Ah, on va prendre l'escalier qu'on a pris avant. En tout cas, le méchant était là. Il semblerait que les théories de Columbine se confirment.
I understand the situation more or less. Much has happened, I see. Either way, I suppose we were lucky not to receive a warm welcome on the way over here. It seems my fellow Lightkeepers do not wish to make this case public just yet.
Yeah. Guess Nasha Town's already been enough of a mess lately.
Let's stop here. Any further and the Ratniki might detect us. Since you two can enter, I'll have to request that you kindly pick me up once you're inside.
Oh? And how are we supposed to do that?
You'll know when the time comes. See you later.
Still acting all mysterious. But he seemed pretty confident, so guess we've gotta trust him.
Ouais, on va faire ça.
Hello?
Ah, you're the special assistants for this investigation, right?
Yep, that's us.
Pardon, je sais qu'il est tard, mais il y a certaines choses qu'on voudrait réexaminer.
Well, you're just in time. We're basically done investigating the crime scene. All that's left is to finish writing up some records. Then properly dispose of Sergeant Major Sousi's remains. If there's anything else you'd like to look into, this is your last chance to do so.
Vous avez du nouveau?
Sadly, no. The motive behind the killing remains a mystery. And while we somehow managed to get news of FLINS, an unexpected accident caused us to miss him. But considering that Nefer from the Curatorium of Secrets came forward to help investigate, I have no doubt that a breakthrough's not far off.
Ah, le frère a réussi à nous faire gagner beaucoup de temps. Je n'attendais pas moins de sa part.
We'll do our part too. Alright, we're going in. See you.
On y va! Merci Zvoni.
Phew, we're in. Thanks to Nefer's reputation, once again. But we still know nothing about how FLINS is gonna enter, or how we'll pick him up. Never mind how we'll leave later on. Something the matter?
Il y a une étrange lumière du côté de la fenêtre.
Huh. That looks like Flints' lantern. But where is he exactly? Well, we've got the lantern. What now? Oh, Paimon almost screamed out loud. You never said you could do magic like that.
C'est une excellente technique de trompe-l'œil.
This lantern may have a rather peculiar shape, but so long as it doesn't glow, it won't stand out in the dark. I calculated that you would have already entered, so I chose a spot visible from the window before using light to send you a signal. As I thought, you're both sharp-eyed and on the ball.
The perks of being veteran adventurers, huh?
On ne va sûrement pas ça avec seulement de l'énergie élémentaire.
Your composure is more impressive still. You're right. That required a little trick of my own. But let us leave such trivial topics for a more relaxed moment. Our time is limited after all. Just as I thought. Come, try sensing it yourself.
Peine perceptible, mais le sang de l'énergie résiduelle près de la blessure, qui sonne de l'énergie de l'empime de la lanterne de FLINS.
Identical powers must flow from the same source. It was the wild hunt, then, that took my form and killed the Sergeant Major. But why do this?
To sow chaos by depriving the Lightkeepers of one of their commanders?
If the Wild Hunt's true form is powerful enough to stand against the world as you claim, I fear not even the full force of Lightkeepers could stand against him, let alone the handful of us stationed in Nasha Town. He would have no reason whatsoever to pick quarrels with individual ants.
Ouais, c'est vrai.
Let's look again more closely. We must leave no stone unturned.
Il nous a dit que l'enquête sur la scène du crime était terminée. Je pense pas qu'il y a encore besoin de garder cet endroit intact.
That makes things simpler. In that case, allow me to disturb the fallen. May the ghost flame guide your spirit. May you rest in peace.
Une recherche minutieuse de trouver peu de pistes, nouvelles pistes.
When we fought, he seemed like quite a reckless foe. Certainly not the meticulous mastermind type. Yet here we are, grappling with this enigma he has left us.
Oh, if we can't get any leads, we might have to go back and find Nefer. Oh, the longer we're stuck here, the likelier he is to achieve his goal. Oh, this is so frustrating.
C'est tout? T'as vraiment envisagé la situation de tous les angles? Trouver tous les indices? Paimon, regarde la lumière qui clignote sur son bras.
You mean this?
I'm not well versed in machinery, but that means his mechanical arm is malfunctioning, right? It might have been broken in combat.
No, that's not right. Paimon remembers this signal. We saw it before while repairing the cannon. It doesn't mean that the components are damaged. It just means that they're due for regular maintenance, so the device has stopped operating. But the real problem is that...
Pendant la réparation du canon, son bras fonctionnait normalement.
Yeah, he even helped us find the maintenance port. It could still be a coincidence, but considering it hasn't been long at all since we were repairing that cannon...
Est-ce que c'était le faux?
The Sousi you met could have been RERIR in disguise. In other words, he played the Sergeant Major before disguising himself as me.
That's right! If only there was some way to prove it.
S'il y a besoin d'un entretien, il faut le déclarer au réparateur du village de Nasha.
You mean Hintsa?
We had a short chat with him once at the tavern, but it's so late. Guess it'll have to wait till tomorrow.
I know where he lives. The situation is critical, so let us now take up the role of uninvited guests ourselves. Ah, yes. And one more thing. Remember to pick me up by the window.
C'est le problème sans problème. Les pièces sans problème, vous mettez en route vers le domicile de Hinsa. Là, on va avoir une petite enquête avec FLINS, c'est ça? Très bien. Monsieur Hinsa. Là, le Nasha est quand même assez grand. Mais... Ça me turlupine. Disons, notre Cry, c'est pas ultra grand. Mais... Il y a... le village de Nasha est censé être la capitale. Mais les Ratniks, ils sont postés où? Leur QG est posté où alors? C'est à Sneznaya? Mais pourquoi il y aurait des Ratniks là-bas?
Oh, it's you two. And FLINS. Given the hour, I guess it must be an emergency.
It is indeed. Our sincerest apologies for interrupting your rest. We are investigating a certain matter in connection with Sergeant Major Sousi. We'd like to know if he has sent you a request for maintenance to be performed on his mechanical arm.
Sousi. Oh, so the rumors I heard. You know what? Forget it. I'm sure it's complicated. No further questions from me. Just a moment. I need to check my records.
Thank you for your understanding.
C'est le resto qui est tenu par des enfants. Faudrait qu'on aille voir.
8 days ago, he came to request a round of regular maintenance. But as it happened, I had run out of the required components. His mechanical arm is especially sophisticated, having been designed by Aino personally. The parts, too, could only be made by her. As such, they usually take several days to arrive. In fact, this time, he even asked me if we could push his request forward. And I understood, completely. Not being able to use your hand, that's rough for anyone. But even more so if your job involves fighting out in the wild. So I did my best to convince Aino to rush the job. And eventually, the parts arrived. 3 days ago, if I remember correctly. I sent word to the Lightkeepers immediately, but he never showed up. I assumed he was just out on some mission or other. What's with those faces? Everything all right?
Ça veut dire qu'effectivement, c'était pas lui qui a fait l'entretien avec nous.
You've provided us with some very crucial information, Hinsa. You have our thanks. We can't make everything public yet, but once our investigation is complete, I will return to thank you and provide an explanation on behalf of all the Lightkeepers.
No worries. Just glad I could help.
Thanks. Good night.
Good night. Hope the investigation goes well.
It seems that it is as we guessed. The Sergeant Major Sousi you encountered while repairing the cannon was actually RERIR in disguise. 8 days ago, he had yet to act. But at some point after that, he attacked and imprisoned the Sergeant Major. With the immense gap in strength between them, the job was finished in a single blow. And thus RERIR had no opportunity to discover the malfunctioning mechanical arm. Perhaps his mastery of shapeshifting extends only to outward form, and not therefore to complex internal mechanisms. Hence his oversight of the uniquely mechanical traits of the Sergeant Major's arm, and in turn, this flaw in his disguise.
You're saying he thought no one would realize his mechanical arm was actually made of some kind of black muck on the inside, so long as it worked, right? Still seems like there's a lot of guesswork involved here, but it mostly makes sense.
C'est que la seule chose qu'il a faite en se faisant passer pour Sousi était d'utiliser le canon.
This also has me stumped for the moment. The cannon has always been used to destroy the wild hunt, and it works as intended. But how would that help RERIR exactly? Assuming he plans to collect the fragments within wild hunt anomalies, firing the cannon works against him, since it would blast those fragments to smithereens.
So we solved one mystery, only to dig up another.
Mais
This is getting Paimon kind of down. And sleepy too.
Mais cette histoire, non. Il avait dit que si on mettait les morceaux de pierre ensemble, ils fusionnaient tout seuls. S'il y a les moyens de les rassembler, il peut les reconstituer facilement, non? C'est un moment que Donner sont mis à rude après.
Yes, I'd say it is high time we took a break. Seems like there's a lot left to investigate. We'll have to fight RERIR eventually. And we'll do a poor job if we're not well rested.
Yeah, we should totally get some sleep first.
Voulez-vous reposer au village de Nasha pendant un jour? Notre résidence est loin d'ici.
A reasonable suggestion. I have no doubt that my quarters have been turned inside out by now, at any rate. My colleagues have never failed to live up to my expectations of their discourtesy.
Well, guess we'll just have to pick you up as usual.
That would be good, yes. Feel free to put the room costs on my tab.
On est encore loin de la fin.